What's going on, bottom line viewers? It's Mitch here, live with The Bottom Line, your weekly NFL review, this time for week number 11 of the 2020 NFL season. A little bit late. My leg fell asleep, just like Tom Brady's arm falls asleep every prime time, but we're here to talk a lot about what happened this week, because a lot happened, okay? Let's just say that. We're going to talk about Tom versus time to start, the Rams versus the Bucs, Monday Night Football, my reaction, my thoughts on that big NFC game between two of the NFC's best. We are going to talk about what I call QB syndrome. That's what I call it. We're going to talk about that in regards to Cam Newton, as well as a few other things, taking a look at the playoff picture. Ultra's top 10, of course. I'm going to absolutely rip that to shreds. But this, I'm going to hype it up before we even get started. I guarantee you, if this is not the best bottom line show I put out until this point, okay, I will personally, I don't know what I'll do, but this is going to be the best bottom line show of the year, guaranteed. All right, I'm guaranteeing it at the start of the show. All right, so before we do begin, and if you are excited for what I have already said is going to be the best NFL review so far this year, Gronk Spike that like button. Subscribe to the channel for more NFL and these weekly NFL reviews. And don't forget to get in that comment section. Let's get this video popping, man. Let's get it rolling. Get in that comment section. Whether it's live or after the fact, let me know what you thought of number 11 in the NFL. Week number 11. Let me know your takeaway from this week. What was your biggest takeaway? Let me know in the comment section below. All right. Week number 11. A lot was learned right before Thanksgiving. And last week on the show, I came and I said, this is the time of year, right? This is the time of year where Thanksgiving and on, you want to be playing your best football. As Bill Belichick would say, Thanksgiving, that's when the real football begins. That's when the real football starts. That's when we learn who's going to be the Super Bowl champion. That's when the real games begin. So, we start to learn some things about these teams, and we start to confirm some things about certain teams. And I believe we can confirm some things about the Monday Night Football matchup. And that is where I'm going to begin, and then I'll get into Ultra's top 10. The Monday Night Football matchup, Rams, Buccaneers. This, I'm going to say it, was a pretty tough watch, all right? Pretty tough. The Buccaneers lose this game. What was the score? 27-24, I believe. I think. I don't even remember at this point. We can confirm some things about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We can confirm that they have clear flaws that come out versus the same team every time. So every time we watch the Bucs, they struggle versus certain things. They struggle on defense with offensive coordinators who are smart, understand not to run the ball versus them, and come out, spread them out, and throw a lot of short passes. So that's exactly what Sean Payton has done. That's exactly what Sean McVay did tonight. Sean McVay said, I understand that our offense is predicated on the run game. And trust me, if you didn't know that, you would know tonight based on what the Monday Night Football commentators were talking about tonight. All right, but Sean McVay was like, nah, we're not running it, okay? We'll run it here and there just to keep you honest. But this game's about Jared Goff. This game's about Cooper Kupp. This game is about Robert Woods. And we are going to spread out the Bucs. We know they're going to be in soft zone coverage for some reason. I don't know why, but they will be. And we're just going to have option route after option route like it's Wes Welker in 2009. And Cooper Kupp is just going to say, inside, outside, find the hole in the zone, and I'm going to stand there, and I'm going to get a catch, and I'm going to fall to the ground. And we're going to move every drive 3, 4, 5 yards at a time. And specifically, we are going to do this on first down to create the Buccaneers defense in situations where they cannot blitz us and get to Goff. So, the genius of Sean McVay. Let me tell you what the difference was in this game tonight. The difference of this game was Sean McVay not running the ball on first down. That was the difference. Every time Sean McVay called a run play on first down, which was a lot in the second half, the Buccaneers got off the field. Every time. Every time the Rams passed the ball on first down to Cooper Kupp mostly, they were able to put themselves in second and third and manageable situations, not through the run, which is how people believe you put yourself in manageable second and third down situations. The impressive part was they were consistently getting good yards on first down, 5 yards, 6 yards here and there. And it wasn't pretty necessarily, but they were doing what they had to do versus a very talented defense to be able to move the ball. And it was frustrating if you're the Bucs because your defense is on the field a long time in the first half. Your offense isn't on the field a long time. And you're wearing that defense out. That defense that's built through the front seven. That's nasty versus the run game. That's a good pass rushing unit. You're slowing them down. You're not allowing them to attack the quarterback. You are allowing Jared Goff to get the ball out of his hands very quickly. And it basically does two things. It negates the pass rush of the Buccaneers, because rarely tonight did we see Jared Goff have to stand there for 3-4 seconds. Rarely. It was 1-2 seconds throw. It was very, very reminiscent of Drew Brees 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, whenever that was, or like Tom Brady in McDaniel's offense. That's what it kind of looked like to me. It was a lot of short stuff. It was finding the holes in the zone and attacking them on first down through the short passing game. And the second thing it does is it doesn't put you in third and long, because we've seen that when Jared Goff is under pressure, he is the worst quarterback in football. So McVay did an extraordinary job of avoiding those situations, and he did a great job. I don't know if it's the offensive line coach, if it's McVay, whoever it is, of the protection was phenomenal. I mean, they moved the protection a lot of times to the right for Goff to move to the right to be able to get a nice clear throwing lane in key situations. They blocked extra people, an extra tight end here, an extra back here to be able to take that shot down the field when they chose to. So I just thought this game was Sean McVay coaching his ass off and out coaching Bruce Arians. It's straight and simple. When you look to the other side, Bruce Arians, what did Byron Leftwich call every first down? Especially early in the game. Oh, halfback dive up the middle for 2 yards. So what does that do if you're the Buccaneers? Okay, so you're the Buccaneers, and not only that, but to Leonard Fournette. Leonard fucking Fournette, okay? This guy is absolutely, positively the worst running back in the NFL. He is awful, okay? He dropped 3 passes, 3 checkdowns, okay? Not like crossers, not like angle routes, not, one-on-one down the field like I'm James White. Nah! Leonard Fournette is the worst. Get it here. The fucking worst running back in the NFL. Tell me the difference between Leonard Fournette and Kalen Ballage. Okay, I don't know the difference. I'll actually say that Ballage is better. Okay? Leonard Fournette okay, I'm not a running back, but I'll tell you this. Anybody watching the game would tell you Ronald Jones, anybody watching the Bucs one game this year can tell you that Ronald Jones is better than Leonard Fournette. It is simple. It does not take a rocket scientist to tell you that Ronald Jones, who is third, not 15th, not 34th, third in the NFL in rushing, despite having to split time with a bust of a running back. This guy played what? 8 snaps? What are you doing? How can you sit there, watch the game last week, and not play Ronald Jones? If you're gonna run the ball on first down for 2 yards, at least let the guy who can break a tackle and outrun people get the ball. Leonard Fournette sucks. He's terrible. What are you doing? How do you sit there and say, bro, like seriously, how? Anybody, Joe Blow at the bar, which is not existent because of COVID, but you know what I mean. The guy on his couch that has watched the Bucs since 1987 would tell you that Ronald Jones is a better running back than Leonard Fournette. It is not that hard. Watch the game. How? Leonard Fournette's in the game. He costs you 3 drops. He doesn't break 1 tackle. He's in there to pass block. Where's LaShawn McCoy? Why did you sign LaShawn McCoy? He doesn't play? Why'd you draft Keyshawn Vaughn? He doesn't play? I thought he's supposed to be the pass down back. And then you run the ball on first down for 2 yards every series like clockwork. The first interception by Tom Brady, before the play happened, I said, it's play action. I literally wish I was filming myself. They come out for the first time all game, I want to say, in a 2 tight end, 2 receiver set, 12 personnel, 1 back. And they run 2 routes, okay? Both tight ends are blocking. One side we have Chris Godwin. One side we have Mike Evans. I know the play. Why? How can I know the play? I'm just some guy that talks on YouTube. I should not be able to know your play. I should not. It should not happen. I should not know. If I know what the play is, do you think, okay, guys, answer me. Answer me in the comments if you're here. If I can tell you the play before the snap happens, do you think Jalen Ramsey can tell you what the play is? Just answer me in the comments. Let me know what you think. I'm not positive on that, but I'm pretty sure that if I know what the play is going to be, I think Aaron Donald knows what the play is going to be. So you come out for the first time all game in a formation that you haven't come out in, okay? And what do you do in that formation? Most often you run play action. So it's just an assumption that everybody knows your tendencies. This is the problem with the Bucs. Everybody knows their offensive tendencies. I don't care if I have Randy Moss, Jerry Rice, Terrell Owens, and Prime Gronk. If I know what you are doing in certain formations, I know your route concepts, I know where Brady is going to look first, look second, look third, and it's forcing him to hold on to the ball because our coverage is married to our pass rush, as brought up on the broadcast, which the Rams do a spectacular job of. Whenever the Bucs have played a good defensive coordinator, they have lost. Every time. Why? Because they know the play. Because I know the play. You don't think the Rams know the play? I don't know. I'm just saying. If I know Randy Moss is going to run a post and Jerry Rice is going to run an in, maybe, I don't know, I'm going to put people in that spot to defend the pass. And then, not only that, but my best interior defensive lineman in NFL history is going to be able to time the snap, rush the passer, hit my quarterback's arm, and then it's going to be an interception. Maybe. I'm not positive, but I have a backup left guard in the game, and I'm pretty sure Aaron Donald's going to hit Brady at least once. Which, by the way, the Bucs offensive line did a good job in this game. I thought the Bucs offensive line was actually pretty good for the most part. A lot of it was due to on the offense, okay? And put this into perspective, okay? The Rams have a very good defense. I would go as far as saying they have the best defense in the NFL. They do, I think. I get it. Some people are going to say the Steelers. In my opinion, the combination of the Rams pass rush, ability to stop the run, and the key difference for me between them and the Steelers, their secondary is very good. So, and their coaching is excellent. So what they do, what we talk about on the preview, they let their pass rushers get to the quarterback by playing a lot of deep zone. They take away the deep passing game. But consistently, play after play, the Bucs want to take shots down the field. What happens? Brady throws 2 interceptions on those plays, is 1 for 9. What did I say on the preview? If the Bucs lose this game, it's because their coaching staff is incompetent. That's exactly what happened. The Bucs did not come out and say, we're going 5 wide, which they did on a few plays, a lot of 3rd and shorts, and they executed on those plays. What the Bucs should have done, and I'm no rocket scientist, but maybe when a team plays very soft coverage, just like you are on defense, you should throw the ball underneath. And maybe when you play Aaron Donald, you shouldn't on first down run the ball right at Aaron Donald. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I don't think you should do that. I'm just putting that out there. Again, don't have to be Matt Patricia, the rocket scientist, to see it, okay? It's just incompetent. It is terrible, garbage, trash coaching. Brutal. It's the worst. The Bucs' offense of coaching has been the worst in the NFL this year, by far. And I know people are going to say, Mitch, why aren't you talking about Brady? I am going to. Just a second. The Brady today was not good. I'm not going to sit here and defend Tom Brady, okay? Sometimes, as I tweeted, when you're 43, you look 43, okay? But the coach did nothing to help him, okay? You're playing a defense that's very good, that has Aaron Donald, that has Jalen Ramsey, that has a defense that's, in my opinion, the best in the league. And you are playing right into what they want you to do. So therefore, you are not going to move the ball when you need to move the ball. They scored 24 points, which, by the way, is the second most in the NFL versus the Rams this year of any offense this year. Okay, the Dolphins scored 28, but I think only like 13 or 14 of them were by the offense. The Bills and Josh Allen scored 34. That was the most. Second most was the Bucs tonight. So actually, the Bucs offense had a better performance versus the Rams defense. But this was with, again, a defense. I'm giving them full credit. They're great. They're awesome. Williams has been a stud. Ramsey is great. Eric Donald is awesome. Brockers is fantastic. I mean, they got great players. Johnson is good. And their coach, I can't say enough about their coaching. It's phenomenal. I mean, it's very Sean McDermott-esque to me in terms of what they do. They really are good at determining your tendencies and putting players in the places where they think you're going to throw. And when you play, and it's because it's a lot of zones, that's what McDermott was able to do in the last few years. Not this year so much, but the last few years. And the personnel is solid, especially in the secondary, in my opinion. Brady's first interception, his arm was hit. He threw a bad ball. He didn't see the safety. Still his fault. But, why are they attempting that when I know the play call? Second one, that was just bad decision. I think he had a comeback or a curl route to the left, one-on-one. He probably could have thrown that. Instead, he threw a seam route to Cameron Brate versus double coverage. It was a really tight window. It was a bad decision, bad throw, all of it. Okay, Brady looked 43 tonight. It was versus the best defense in the league. And every time he's played a great defense and a great defensive coordinator, he has gotten no help from his coaching staff whatsoever because they continuously decide to play Leonard Fournette and then run the ball on first down, setting them up in second and third and long. And this time it's even worse because they don't have Ali Marpet at left guard to at least help with that situation. But this game, as I talked about in the preview, it should have been about Antonio Brown and Chris Godwin underneath, just as the Rams with Cooper Kupp were just throwing underneath balls for 5 yards. That's how you have to beat the Rams. You have to live with the short completion versus the Rams. And that's how you have to beat the Bucs. You can't try to beat them throwing down the field all game. You need to take the short completions. And I've talked about this before after the Saints game. The Bucs don't have short completions in their offense. They don't. Their short completion is a swing pass to a guy who can't catch. So, that's it. I mean, other than that, we saw a couple of short little options from Antonio Brown. They could have just ran those same plays all game, and they would have scored. And every time they did, they scored. But they just determined that that's not their approach. That's not their game. They're going to try to force, as I knock my mic over, they're going to try and force 20-yard completions, and Brady goes 1 for 9. So to me, it was a mixture of Brady playing poorly. He wasn't himself. He was under pressure. He's human, okay? He's not the best quarterback in the NFL. Brady in 2006, 2007 would have scored 35 points tonight because he would have just said, F it, I'm Tom fucking Brady. I'm just going to move out of the way of Aaron Donald, get killed, and throw it into a tight window. That's Tom Brady of old. In 2007, Tom Brady would have moved up, moved to the right, moved to the left, gotten killed, and completed the ball down the seam with his arm, which was ridiculous. But now, he's 43. He can't move. He doesn't have the same arm. I mean, it's not the same. He's not the GOAT right now, okay? He's just he's a good quarterback, but he's not great. He's not Mahomes. He's not Allen. He's not Watson. He's not Wilson. And even Wilson looked like Jameis Winston last week. So versus this defense. So you did him no favors. So yeah, Tom sucked. Tom was bad. But what do you expect? He's not the best quarterback in the NFL. He's playing the best defense. Okay, and they didn't help him. So all of it together is just a bad mix. It's just a bad mix. Don't know really what else to say. But I do need to talk about a little bit more. I was impressed with Jared Goff. Other than the interception, I thought he played well. I thought he made a lot of nice throws. He was on the money a lot. He made the right decision more often than not. He played a good defense. He was protected well tonight. As I stated, Sean McVay was spectacular. The defense was great. What else? The kicking needs to get better for the Rams. But I said last week, the Rams are really good. They were my 5th best team coming into this game. Now they're my 4th. They're the 2nd best team in the NFC because they beat the Bucs. I had the Bucs at number 4. After this game, they're number probably 6, somewhere around there. Rams moved up 1 spot. They replaced the Bucs. It's that simple. And that's how I'm going to get into the Ultra Top 10. Those are most of my thoughts on the game. Anything that I missed? Antonio Brown, I thought looked really good tonight. I thought Mike Evans played well tonight for the Bucs. There's guys that played well. I thought Sue played great. I thought JPP played unbelievable. I love that guy. He's awesome. Antoine Winfield continues to impress. Like, the Bucs didn't play awful. Okay, they were within 3 points of winning the game. They were within one score. It was the last drive of the game. They could have won the game. But it's just so frustrating because the Bucs are easily the most frustrating team in the entire NFL. And I've said this multiple weeks, and it's just so clear what their flaws are. They need to do something about the play calling. They need to cut Leonard Fournette. And they need to play like they played in the second half on defense. If they're going to win the Super Bowl, which doesn't look like they're going to, but if they are, their defense needs to play how it did in the second half every week. They need to be more aggressive. They need to. Or else they're not a team that can simply play zone coverage and just get eaten alive underneath versus good offenses and good coordinators and good quarterbacks. So those are my thoughts on the game. Rams deserve the win. Nice win for the Rams. Nice win for Jared Goff. Got his revenge versus Tom Brady in a way, so that's good to see. All right, the Ultra Top 10. Let's take a look at this Top 10 from Mr. Ultra himself. At number 1, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Although I still disagree, I think the Kansas City Chiefs are the best team in football, and I will not say they are not until the Steelers beat them. Because I will say this every week until it happens. If you want to be the man, woo, you got to beat the man, in my opinion. At number 3, the New Orleans Saints. Okay, the Saints are definitely the best team in the NFC. Not with Taysom Hill, but with Drew Brees. And we're going to talk about Taysom later on in the show. At number 4, the LA Rams. I do agree with that. I just said that the Rams are my number 4 team. To me, the second best team in the NFC. I think them and the Saints are very similar. I think the Rams have a better defense. I think the Saints have a better offense. Their coaches are both great, and that is why they are better than the Bucs. It's not because they have more talent than the Bucs. It's not because they have better quarterbacks than the Bucs. They actually don't. It's because their coaching is far superior. At number 5, he has the Bills. I don't mind that. I mean, Josh Allen's great. He carries this team most weeks. The offense is explosive, so they'll be in any game that they play. I think McDermott will get this defense a little bit better come playoff time. They're the team that I think the Steelers and the Chiefs need to look out for sure. The Las Vegas Raiders at number 6. I don't agree with this one. I would still have the Bucs at number 6. The Bucs did beat the Raiders by like 20 points, so you have to take that into consideration. The Raiders just have a very flawed defense. Their defense is absolutely atrocious, but you know, their offense is really good. Their offense is actually probably still, for some reason, the most underrated offense in the NFL. The Raiders, Derek Carr's playing great. John Gruden's calling a good game every week, and they can move the ball on you in a multitude of ways. So the Raiders would be probably my number 7, maybe my number 8, because I liked how the Colts played this week. He has the Colts at number 7. The Colts have a good defense, not a great defense. They can be taken advantage of in certain aspects. When you throw the ball on them, they're not the greatest, but they are pretty good. They can stop the run really well. The offense, Phillip Rivers reliant, basically. I mean, Phillip Rivers is super inconsistent. He's played better. Played probably his best game this week, to be honest. So the Colts, they are solid all around. Nothing special to me. I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl, but they're a solid team. Number 8, the Bucs. We talked about them. I think they're number 6. I think they're better than the Raiders and the Colts, but I don't think at this point you can say that they're better than the Rams. Well, I guess they could beat the Rams, but you can't say they're better than the Saints. You can't say they're better than the Chiefs, Steelers. They play the Chiefs next week. We'll see how they play in that game. Game will be exciting, fun, but probably frustrating for me to watch. At number 9, Packers. Packers have Aaron Rodgers. He's spectacular. Had another good game this week. Their defense, trash. Their offense, pretty good. It's not like the best, but it's probably in the top 5 because of Rodgers and Adams and Jones. But yeah, I just think there's something missing with the Packers. I think they're a solid team, but they're kind of soft. I think we're going to talk about that as well. Titans at number 10. Okay, I can get that. I mean, they just beat the Ravens. They are a team loaded with just studs. A.J. Brown, Derrick Henry. Tannehill played pretty well versus the Ravens. Their defense is getting a little bit better, so that's nice to see. Titans are a team that I think could pull one upset in the playoffs. I don't really see them going to the Super Bowl either. So there's Ultra's top 10. Let me know what you think. Of course, make sure you do follow our Instagram. Make sure you do follow our Instagram, The Bottom Line View. The same name. Type it in on your Insta. Give us a follow. Exclusive content, especially coming up as I get ready for my semester break and my Christmas break. There's going to be a lot more Insta stuff. So make sure you do follow our Instagram for the top 10 every single week. Okay. Damn. Where were we? Oh! Okay, I need some water for this. I did not expect the first segment of the show to take like 25 minutes. But here we are. Okay? Here we are. What do we want to do here? What do we want to do? Okay. You guys are probably asking, what in the heck is blaming quarterback syndrome? Guys, if you want to find out what blaming quarterback syndrome is, Grant Spike the like button. Blaming quarterback syndrome is, to put it in a nutshell, NFL fans who don't understand the concept of football. Fans or analysts that don't understand the concept of team sports. They don't get it. They don't understand it when a quarterback wins, that it wasn't just him. They don't understand that when a quarterback loses, it isn't just him. That's a simple definition. Who specifically am I talking about? I'm sure you could get a good guess. I'll let you guess in the comments. Blaming quarterback syndrome has been a problem for many years. It happens in Atlanta. It happens in Detroit a lot. It happens today in Tampa, although some of that was deserved. It does happen in LA when the Rams lose. It happened with Dak Prescott, and then all of a sudden we found out, hey, you know what? Cowboys actually suck without Dak. Maybe it's not his fault. And it actually happened in Dallas before that with number 9. So it's happened a lot in Dallas. It's a pandemic. It's bad in Dallas, but it's bad. It is terrible in New England this year. Okay? Specifically with the Patriot fans, who, I'm going to say it, I'm a Patriots fan. You guys are a bunch of idiots. I don't really know what to tell you. You guys are stupid. Like, really. I don't know if you're watching the games. I don't know if you look at the roster. I don't know if you don't watch other teams. But, like, the Patriots don't have Will Fuller, okay? The Patriots don't have Brandon Cooks. The Patriots don't have Mike Evans, Antonio Brown, or Chris Godwin. I don't know. The Patriots, they don't have the Rams defense this year. Okay? They don't have a lot. They kind of suck. I would go as far as say if the Patriots had what they thought was going to be their starter this year, because let me be 100% honest. Bill Belichick did not think he was signing Cam Newton. We're going to get to that in a second. If the Patriots had Jarrett Stidham at quarterback, they would be winless this year. 100% winless. They would be on the Jets level, okay? Because we saw Jarrett Stidham play versus the Chiefs. It was bad. We saw him play another game, the Niners. He was terrible. So, Stidham wasn't the guy, it looks like. Brian Hoyer, we know how that went. With those guys, we would be saying the same thing that we were saying about the Cowboys right now. Cam Newton is the example of blaming quarterback syndrome this year and at the moment. Let's get into specifics, okay? Because I actually did prep this week for this show. That is how much time I had today to do so. So let's take a look at what I mean. All right? Let's take a look at the first bit of evidence. Deshaun Watson was only pressured on 2 of his 37 dropbacks last week versus the Patriots. This is not only bad, but this was the lowest pressure rate in a game in his entire career. Okay? I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I always need you to double check this. Cam Newton doesn't play defensive end. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he should, but he doesn't. So Deshaun Watson was pressured on 2 of his 37 dropbacks. That is pathetic. This carries into the conversation about the Patriots defense, which is pathetic. Okay? The Patriots defense ranks last in defensive DVOA, which accounts for opponent, which accounts for run pass defense. DVOA is basically an average statistic to show how bad or good you are in a certain area. Patriots rank last in 2020 in defense. Okay. They rank 31st versus the run and 30th in pass defense. They also rank in the bottom 5 in pressure rate. So they don't rush the passer. They don't defend the pass. They don't defend the run. And therefore, they get scored on. Okay. Tell me what I said before the year when it comes to the Patriots. And I've said all year. The Patriots need to play through their defense. If the Patriots defense doesn't play well, this team is going to suck. Okay, I said that because that is what they were last year. Patriots defense was number 1 in DVOA. It's why they were 12-4 or whatever they were, 11-5. I don't even remember. But they made the playoffs because of their defense. Their offense wasn't much better. If not, it was worse, to be honest, especially these last 3-4 weeks. But Patriots defense was really good last year. It was the best in the league. Through half the season, it was one of the best in history of football. And now it's the worst. So we go from the best to the worst. Now let's talk about the offense. The Patriots, their identity was never their offense. Going into this year, if they wanted to win, again, play through your defense, run the ball, win a game 17-14. Patriots have been unable to do that all year, okay, because their defense has not shown up. What is around Cam Newton? I will concede he has a good offensive line. Better at run blocking than pass blocking, but still a good offensive line. One of the better ones in the league. Receiver-wise, they are the worst in the NFL. According to DVOA, once again, they have one receiver that is in the top 60 in the NFL. One. They have 0 tight ends inside the top 38. I don't even know if I know 38 tight ends. Do you? They have 0 tight ends inside the top 38. So They have no receivers. They have no tight ends. They have no defense. And yet, Patriot Nation is going to blame Cam Newton. Let's take a look at how Cam has played. Again, independent performance, which is why I look at PFF and DVOA, because they account for individual performance. Cam is only responsible for what he's responsible for, as is every other quarterback. Cam is graded 13th in the NFL, according to PFF, at quarterback. Sounds about right. His PFF grade as of late is actually pretty good. When you take a look at some of his stats, Cam, in that game versus the Texans, on passes in 10-plus yards in the air, 8 for 8, 207 yards, a touchdown, and a perfect 158.3 passer rating. According to Evan Lazar, he says, let that man cook. All right. Another stat. Cam Newton, since getting benched versus the 49ers, is 4th in the NFL in passing. Not running, passing. He has 4 rushing touchdowns, and that is 2nd among all players through that span. So Cam Newton, since getting benched, basically since coming off of COVID, has been the 4th best quarterback in the NFL. Okay? His efficiency. Cam Newton ranks among the best quarterbacks in football through weeks 8 to 11. I think that's from the Buffalo game on. So Mahomes is at the top. Cousins has played really well in that span. Obviously, the Vikings have been winning. You have guys like Watson, guys like Herbert, Newton, Kyler Murray. Newton is right there with Aaron Rodgers. So he's been good. Okay? But he has no receivers, no tight ends, no defense. And yet, people continue to blame Cam Newton. Okay? According to PFF, his wide receivers, Bird ranks 75th, Harry ranks 99th, Edelman, before getting hurt, ranks 66th, and Myers has been in the top 10. And this is something I noticed, okay? Since Myers has started, which was late in the 49ers game, after the 49ers game, he became a starter. Cam has been one of the better quarterbacks in the league. So since getting a receiver he trusts and likes and is actually decent, he's been one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. So, yes, the Patriots lost to the Texans. That's because they couldn't get pressure on Watson. That's because they couldn't defend the pass. That's because Watson destroyed them. Okay? That is not because of Cam Newton. Patriots offense has actually been pretty good. And that's why I've said, like, the Patriots, even if they suck, they've been watchable because at least they've scored a lot of points. You know, they barely beat the Jets because their defense couldn't stop Joe Flacco. What else happened? I mean, they scored quite a few points versus the Ravens, who have a good defense. So, in a rainstorm, Cam's been on a record pace in terms of rushing. He's been a good passer as of late. Not early, but as of late. And is he the best quarterback in the league? That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is he's been damn good for a really bad team. That's what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. So Cam is not the reason that they're losing. And this can be probably an example for many other fan bases. I'm just choosing Cam Newton because he's my quarterback. And it upsets me to see people misunderstanding the game and not understanding what's happening on the field. Because people continue to say, oh, he sucks. You know, he's the reason they're losing. But like I saw somebody, an analyst I was watching a YouTube video, an analyst for some Boston channel. Evan Lazar was on there, one of the guys that I showed a tweet of. Because I like his takes. I like listening to him because he pays close attention. So I was listening to this other guy, and he's just spitting like absolute garbage. I don't know what he's talking. It's like he didn't watch any of the games. He's saying like Cam doesn't go through his reads. Cam like stares down a receiver. Like he doesn't scramble enough. I'm like, have you ever watched Cam Newton in your life? Or are you just stereotyping him? Like, I don't understand. Cam Newton has never been a scrambler, ever. He's always been a designed runner, but never a scrambler. He's not Michael Vick. He's Cam Newton, okay? He's not Randall Cunningham. He's Cam Newton. He's been a passer and then a runner when he's designed to do both things. He doesn't really scramble a lot, which maybe he should scramble more. You could say that, but like, he's never been that. Secondly, a lot of guys would say, including Josh McDaniels and Bill Belichick, that Cam Newton is a smart quarterback. Like, labeling him as dumb is just incorrect. It's just wrong. It's just simply, again, stereotyping a player. And it upsets me because I literally just wrote a paper on black quarterbacks. I don't want to get too political here, but I just wrote a paper for school in a sports media program about how media mistreats black quarterbacks. And literally, Cam Newton is being stereotyped this year when that's not how he plays. Like, you have to watch the games and legitimately go through how he performs. Like, if he's bad at short passes because he's inaccurate, that is perfectly fine because he is. Okay, that's accurate. You could show me a play of Cam Newton and say he misses short throws sometimes. That's not part of his game. That's not what he's good at. He's great at intermediate, deep throws, and he's good at putting it on the money, and he's a great runner. And he is smart. He makes a lot of good decisions, and he's good pre-snap. Okay? But yeah, I wrote a paper on that. It's just upsetting because I was like, this is so bad. It's just, I don't know how we're at this point. And Cam's always been this way. Like, with Cam Newton, he had that moment after the Super Bowl, right? Where he had the hoodie on and people blamed him for being a crybaby, right? Which is fine. I get the analysis on that. He came across the wrong way. But literally, we have Tom Brady, who's my favorite quarterback ever, not shaking the hand of another quarterback tonight. And yet, tomorrow, Tom Brady's not going to be criticized the way Cam Newton's been criticized. And we're criticizing Cam Newton for losing these games when he's not the reason they're losing these games. It's just it's just wrong. It's just bad analysis. You need to be better at your job. That's just my opinion. I take pride in understanding what's happening. And obviously some people don't. Because I'm sure tomorrow or probably today, I don't listen to it. You guys can let me know. I don't know how they were talking about Cam, but I'm sure they were saying it was all his fault, even though his defense sucks. His wide receivers are terrible. So that's just the way it is, right? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you anymore, but it's really, really upsetting for not just Cam, but for any quarterback in the league, because it's a team sport and because you should never be stereotyped on the type of athlete that has came before you that you are not. And it's upsetting because Cam is a good guy, because Belichick, McDaniels, all his teammates love him. They speak endlessly about how great he is, his leadership, his ownership of when they lose, always saying, we lost, I need to be better, even though he played well. And it's upsetting. I'll defend Cam Newton all the way because he's a good dude. And you can see that. And Ultra today in the Discord was saying, why does it seem like you like Cam more than Brady right now? And I'll just tell you, because right now I do. Because Cam is more genuine right now. Brady on press conferences, we don't get anything. We don't see the personality. We don't see the person. It's just Tom Brady. And then him continuously kind of being a baby about losing. And Cam, on the other hand, comes out and says, I got to be better. The guy was bad. The guy sucked. Wasn't Harry's fault. It was my fault. So, I understanding from that perspective of being an athlete, and how you're supposed to be in the spotlight, Cam has been 100% the model citizen, and that it just sucks. I hope he's back next year. I said this before, but I hope he's back. So moving on to the next subject, we have, what's next? Deshaun Watson for MVP. All right. I understand that this is not going to happen. I understand that Deshaun Watson's not going to win the MVP. His team is terrible. His team is what? 3-7, 4-7 maybe? I don't know. He plays on Thanksgiving this week, and it's going to be cool because everyone's going to see that Deshaun Watson is a baller. Okay? And we knew this already. I mean, he was my 4th ranked quarterback last year. Looking back at it, he should have been my 3rd, which I contemplated. He should have been my 3rd. And this year, I've even ranked him low, and quite honestly, I can't tell you why. Because Deshaun Watson, I think, is the 2nd or 3rd best quarterback in the NFL. And what I saw from him on Sunday was just stupid. Like, I don't... I don't even know. Like, if you guys watch the Patriots game, throw after throw on the money. On the money. Nobody open. He throws them open. You know, no pressure, but he's running around. He buys time. He makes you scramble here and there. He attacks you as a runner. He attacks you as a passer. He's accurate. He has a great deep ball. He's super elusive. He's a great leader. Like, Deshaun Watson would be my guy. Like, I've said this before, but I would pick Deshaun Watson over everyone. Maybe not Mahomes, but I personally like Deshaun Watson more than Patrick Mahomes in terms of their personality. And I do think Mahomes is a better player. Don't get me wrong. But Deshaun Watson, he is the definition of MVP. This is where I'm going with this conversation. He is not the best quarterback, okay? But he is the most valuable quarterback because he has nothing, okay? Just like I was talking about Cam Newton. And by the way, Deshaun Watson also is on a team that has a bad record, just like Cam Newton. Deshaun Watson lost DeAndre Hopkins. Every time I say a pause, I want to say the F-bomb, but I just don't. DeAndre Hopkins, okay? We saw how good DeAndre Hopkins was on the Hail Mary, right? He's really good. Some people would say he's the best receiver in the NFL. Now, it's not like he doesn't have receivers, but he's been good with what he has, right? Will Fuller, Brandon Cooks, he's been putting up the numbers. He's been scoring points. His defense is atrocious. I mean, it's terrible. He has the worst run defense in the NFL. They're not good versus the pass either. I mean, they let Damiere Byrd have 170 yards. What does that tell you? Okay? It's bad. All right? And he doesn't have Bill Belichick. He has Romeo Crennel, who is like level 1 Bill Belichick. So, and he had Bill freaking O'Brien making decisions, and he didn't have Laramie Tunzel at left tackle this week. So, like, Watson is valuable as hell. He is the most valuable player in the NFL, in my opinion. It doesn't mean he's the best. It doesn't mean he's going to win MVP because he's not, but he is the most valuable player. And if they get any sort of competent coach, whether it be Bieniemy, and I'm not trying to hate on Crennel because I think he's done a good job so far, actually. And he's a obviously Patriot legend. I love the guy, but like he's too old. I mean, he could be a DC, but he's too old at this point. The years have passed him by. Let's just say that. Bieniemy from the Chiefs, McDaniels, like a college coach, Brady from the Panthers. Any of these guys would instantly make the Texans a playoff team. I mean, it is almost incredible how the Texans made the playoffs last year, considering their defense wasn't much better. And I guess they had Hopkins, but they still had the same atrocious coaching. So, and management specifically, more so than coaching. Wentz is valuable. He's a baller. And I don't want that to fade away because his team isn't in the playoff mix. That is something that happens far too often. We stop talking about great players that are playing really well that aren't in the playoffs. And that's where I just wanted to bring up Deshaun Watson because the guy's awesome. Next. No playoffs for Baltimore. No playoffs for Mr. Harbaugh, for Lamar Jackson. It's all going downhill. Kevin Durant's prophecy. It's here. He said, Baltimore sucks. Baltimore sucks. They're overrated. They're not going 16-0, Colin Cowherd. He was telling you. And hey, I got to give the guy a little credit. I mean, his feet might be slow. His haircut might be a little, below average. But their count was right about the Ravens. I got to give him that. So, Lamar Jackson, I don't think he's the problem. I don't think he's played, obviously, like he did last year. But that's mostly because of everything around him. I mean, last year, he had all the pieces there for him, right? He had the great offensive line. He had a good defense. He had Andrews playing really well. But just like Cam, he doesn't really have any receivers. At least he has Mark Andrews. But the offensive line's far worse than it was last year. Biggest difference for Lamar this year and last year is this year they're not running the ball the same way they did last year. So it's not really hurting defenses to let them kind of to play the pass in certain situations. Like Lamar was so successful because he's so good at running, and that their run game was so good that you have to be respectable with it. And then he's going to torch you over the top on a one-on-one. But Marquise Brown isn't getting open on those one-on-ones. Mark Andrews isn't getting open when he's given the one-on-one. Lamar is having to be something he's not. Lamar is having to be an accurate sit back there and throw on 3rd and 10 quarterback because his run game isn't doing well, his offensive line isn't protecting him, and he doesn't have any receivers. He has Willie Snead. So the offense is broken, essentially. They understand what the Ravens want to do, and they don't have the personnel they had a year ago. So they can't just roll out there and run behind Marshall Yonda, Hall of Famer, all game. They can't do that. So I don't think it's Lamar's fault. I think if you have the things around Lamar to allow him to succeed, he will be an MVP caliber player. Is he playing like that right now? No. Is he still a top 10 quarterback? Yes. Just simply what you saw versus New England, where literally nothing's working and he's just running around and making something happen. He's still a really good player. It's just, yeah. And when you look at the Ravens, again, I said this last week, right? They are a power team. They're a power organization. They're built on toughness. And they're not tough. They get run over every week. They don't have Calais Campbell. They don't have Brandon Williams, Derrick Henry running for 50-yard touchdown in overtime. That should not happen versus the Baltimore Ravens. Ray Lewis would not let that happen. Okay? Haloti Ngata would not let that happen. Ed Reed would not let that happen. Trust me on that one. Okay? Rex Ryan would not let that happen on the Ravens. Okay? The Ravens are the softest Ravens I've ever seen. Be quite honest with you. This is the softest I've ever seen the Baltimore Ravens. Every time I saw Baltimore Ravens play the Patriots, I didn't want to watch it because the Patriots going to be black and blue whether they won or they lost. So this Thursday, or this, would they move the game? Whatever. Okay, move the game. Steelers are more physical than them. The Steelers are a better team. The Steelers should win. And I think people are treating the Ravens as if they are still this unbeatable squad. Like, no. Like, Lamar, it's Lamar. And it's a secondary. That's it. What do they got? I mean, they should be better on defense, but they're without their fat dudes. Okay? Their defense is still good, but they don't have any run defense right now, so it's just exposing them all over the place. And their offense can't pass the ball because they got nothing. So, and Lamar's not one of the better passers. That's not how he's supposed to play. If you're coaching the Ravens, that's not how you're supposed to coach the Ravens. And you need, at least here's the thing. If you want Lamar to become a better passer, do what the Bills did. Put receivers around the guy. Allow him to get guys that get open. Get a Cole Beasley. Get a John Brown. Get a Stephon Diggs. Instead of freaking Willie Snead and some bum named Dez Bryant who hasn't played in the league for 6 years. Okay, I love Dez. Throw up the X. But, he's slow. He's old. He's not good anymore. I love the guy, but it's just no, it's not going to happen, okay? And Lamar, even if Dez were good, let's just say he is, Lamar's not going to throw it up there and just, allow Dez to catch it. He's like a Josh Allen, right? He needs to see the guy open. He likes guys that get open. And now Allen can make some special throws, but Lamar can too. We've seen it. It's just if Lamar had guys that could separate and get open, even Cole Beasley guys. Cole Beasley. If he had Cole Beasley, his team would be a lot better, but they're not. So I don't have that guy. But I will say this about the Titans. I mean, what was I going to say? AJ Brown, freaking monster. Derrick Henry, beast. The Titans are fun to watch because they just have absolute animals. Like, they have freaks. Like, Jonnu Smith is a freak, okay? AJ Brown running dudes over. Derrick Henry, their offensive line is going to beat you up. Like, they're just a fun team to watch because they're physical and they're extremely, extremely physically talented in certain areas. And that's why they're fun. And that's why they can beat a lot of teams, because they're just gonna, run you over, like, legitimately. So, yeah, the Titans are pretty interesting. I'm not surprised that the Ravens lost. Like, anyone surprised the Ravens lost? They've been not watching the Ravens this year. It's really as simple as that. They just haven't. I mean, that's not surprising. All right. The boys are back in town, baby. The boys are back in town. The Cowboys defeat the Vikings. Ooh, voice crack. Anyways, 3-way tie in the NFC East for second, I think. There's a big Thanksgiving game. I believe they play Washington. Could be wrong there. I think they do. But the Cowboys, I like what I saw. I didn't see the whole game, but what I saw, the Cowboys, I liked it. I mean, Zeke had his first 100-yard rushing game. Tony Pollard broke a big one. I'm not saying the boys are, like, fantastic. They're not the 1994 boys or anything like that, but, like, they're pretty good now, at least in terms of where they were. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. Andy Dalton played better. I like what they did, putting Zach Martin at right tackle to allow him to be protected, because that's what I said. The number one problem with the Cowboys is not Andy Dalton, it's the protection, because Tyron Smith, La'el Collins are both out for the season. So they didn't have any tackles. So Andy Dalton's not mobile. He's not going to make guys miss. He's not going to extend the play. With Andy Dalton, you need to protect him. He's still got a decent arm. He still can put the ball on the money in certain aspects, but you need to protect him. And that's what they did versus the Vikings. They ran the ball effectively. Now, the Vikings defense isn't anything special, but it's not bad. It's well coached. And they moved the ball pretty easily. Amari Cooper, obviously stud. CeeDee Lamb, stud. They got the receivers there. Schultz had a touchdown. Good to see. Offense looked good. Kellen Moore with an awesome triple option pitch CeeDee Lamb play. That was pretty cool. Defensively, they're kind of holding on for dear life every drive, but at least they're not giving up massive gains every drive. They're not giving up easy touchdowns. They're playing with heart. They're playing, just more sound. That's good to see, because I think when you look at this defense, they have a few good players. I'm not saying they don't. I mean, Van Der Esch when he's healthy, Jalen Smith, Marcus Lawrence. But, like, a lot of especially their secondary, is very weak. I would question whether it's the weakest in terms of on paper in the NFL. Maybe not in terms of stats, but in terms of what they have at corner and what they have at safety, it's not the greatest. And it's not the greatest in defensive line. Obviously, McCoy got hurt before the season. Poe didn't work out. So a number of things didn't work out there. But the Cowboys, I think, will be competitive in this division. We'll see who wins on Thursday, but that will go a long way to determining if they can do something. Obviously, I said I don't want to see the Eagles because they don't deserve shit, okay? The Cowboys, they're fun, so I'll accept them. The Giants, hell yeah. Let's do it. Although I would way rather have Saquon on that team. But Giants, Joe Judge, coaching his ass off, so they deserve it. Football team. Alex Smith is a good story, so I'll take it. But not the Eagles. Please. Please. Not the Eagles. Don't. Taysom Hill time. I hope Turtle's still alive. I hope he's still awake. We still have 56 people awake at 1:14 in the morning for some of you, so I appreciate that. Taysom time, baby. It is here. Let's go. So everybody was doubting Taysom time. Everybody was doubting my boy Taysom Hill. And more importantly, they were doubting Sean Payton. And if you've watched the Bottom Line View, you understand that Sean Payton is a wizard. You're a wizard, Harry. You are a wizard, Sean. So you are allowed to play a tight end at quarterback. You shouldn't be able to in fantasy, quarterback at tight end. But when you are a wizard, you are allowed to play tight ends at quarterback. It is allowed. I would have liked to seen like Gronk at quarterback one game. But anyways, Taysom Hill. This guy has shown you things. What did I say? He plays gunner, H-back, fullback, tight end, wide receiver, probably corner, I don't know, punt returner, quarterback, kick returner, second string long snapper, fourth string kicker. He plays probably other sports as well, but Taysom Hill is like a top 5 athlete in the entire NFL. I get it. He's a white dude. He doesn't look like it, but I'm telling you, this guy could probably bench more than most dudes. He could probably squat more than most dudes. He could probably run faster than most dudes. He could probably run around most dudes. He could probably run over most dudes. So to me, Taysom Hill is a stud. And I get it, okay? He doesn't look pretty when he throws the ball. Did Tim Tebow look pretty when he threw the ball? Does Phillip Rivers look pretty when he throws the ball? No. If Tim Tebow can win a playoff game, Taysom Hill can start versus the Atlanta Falcons, okay? If Tim Tebow can play and win a playoff game versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, Taysom Hill can start versus the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons, who can't block ultra, okay? Taysom Hill played well, though, from, what I saw. I thought he actually threw the ball decent. I mean, down the field was not great. He needs to fix some things there. But his accuracy underneath was actually pretty good. Obviously, the running is there, although I thought he would run more. I'm surprised that they didn't run more like option, like Cam in New England kind of stuff. Quarterback like blasts and quarterback powers, stuff like that. I think maybe they're trying to save his body or whatever, but I would like to see more of that. But it was just interesting to watch a guy like Sean Payton have a quarterback like that. What I want to see is I want to see Kyle Shanahan get somebody like that again, because what he did with RG3 in 2012. But that's a side point. But Taysom Hill played well, in my opinion. And I think he should continue to start over Jameis. Not saying he should continue to start over Drew Brees, because here's the thing. Taysom Hill gives different things for a defense to defend. We always talk about this at quarterback. Taysom you're gonna have to defend the Lamar Jackson read option, triple option stuff. You're gonna have to defend a short passing game with Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara, and he can shot put one down the field for 50 yards every once in a while. So why not? I mean, you have a great offensive line, you have a great running back. Play into the strength that you have instead of playing Jameis Winston and trying to make this team a deep passing attack when that's not really what they are. Jameis isn't even really a great underneath thrower. He's better down the field. So I think Taysom he's got something. I'd give him a chance. And I'm going to be rooting for him because it's fun to watch. I'd rather watch this guy. I like it. I just want to bring this up. Bro. Everybody please say your prayers for Joe Burrow. Please. I think I'm crying. Crying a little bit. Wipe my tears out my eyes. Joe Burrow has like 8 injuries in his rookie season. I think he like tore his ACL, MCL, PCL. TCL, FCL, like I don't know, like a bunch of stuff. But Joe Burrow, he looked really good this season with, again, another quarterback with not a lot. And the sad thing is that we knew that if he was going to continue to get absolutely lambasted every week, I mean, the guy was getting hit like at a record amount, like David Carr levels of getting hit. But he was still really good. So say your prayers for Joe Burrow. But I have a couple of things to say. First, if they do not protect him, he is going to be Andrew Luck 2.0. If you do not get left, right guard, centers, you are going to have another Andrew Luck on your hands where you are absolutely ruining a kid's career. He already hurt now. If you don't get an offensive line or any sort of protection, this is the worst offensive line in the NFL. And you knew you were getting Joe Burrow and you didn't get anything to protect him. So that's not good. Okay? Secondly, blessing in disguise, potentially. Why? Because we knew that Joe Burrow was going to squeak out some games down the stretch that he shouldn't. The Bengals were going to win a couple more games. And now that Ryan Finley or whoever's going to be the quarterback, maybe they bring back Josh Johnson, I don't know, is a quarterback, then they're not going to win a single game, okay? So what does that mean? The Bengals are going to have a top 3 pick. So kind of like what the 49ers did when Jimmy G got hurt. Now you got a top 3 pick. And we know how valuable those picks are for the quarterbacks in this class. So maybe you could trade the 2nd overall, the 3rd overall, the 4th overall pick for a bundle of other picks. Get a tackle, get a guard, get a defensive end, get a corner. I don't know. But now you could start to build your team around Joe Burrow, probably with a new coordinator, Brady, potentially. I would think. Joe Brady, please. But, I mean, Bengals now are going to be in that situation where without Burrow, you're going to have a top 3 pick and you're going to be able to pick the player that you want, or you can trade back, get a whole load of picks because another team wants a quarterback, and you can build the rest of your team. And it's probably going to be with a new coach. So Taylor's probably out. So there you go. Just wanted to throw that out there, but it's something to think about a little bit. Next, we have Tua time. So we go from Joe Burrow to Tua time. Tua time is over? What? It just started. What happened? The clock ran out? Huh? What happened? Brian Flores benched Tua after not the greatest of performances versus the Broncos. Obviously, this was a great defense with a great defensive mind, taking advantage of the weaknesses in Tua's game and the weaknesses of the Dolphins' offense, which is their offensive line. And I think what we saw in this game was the clear things that I talked about with Tua, which is why I was never high on Tua. Okay? I was always higher on Justin Herbert. I was always higher on Joe Burrow for the draft than Tua. Because Tua, just to put it blatantly, okay? He's short. He doesn't have a big arm. He's not super mobile. And that's about it, okay? So what happens there? Okay, so the Broncos, interior pressure, so the short guy can't see. He's not going to run away from you very often, and he can't push the ball down the field. So you're going to have to defend the short areas of the field. Tua is limited. And this is what I said about Tua. He's going to be an average quarterback his entire career. I see Tua as Andy Dalton. I see Tua as maybe, if you could get there, Derek Carr. That's being nice. Okay? Tua is never going to be, in my opinion. You could record this. You could, whatever you want. This video is going to be out there for years. Tua is never going to be a top 5 quarterback. He has good traits, but when you're evaluating quarterbacks, especially lately, who have been the best ones? Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson. What do all of those guys have in common? They all have amazing physical ability. Okay? Justin Herbert has a cannon. Josh Allen has a cannon. They can both run pretty well. They're big. They're tall. They can take a hit. They can play under pressure. Lamar Jackson is fast as you know what. Okay? Deshaun Watson, he's just a baller. Okay? Then you have, and his escapability is incredible. Kyler Murray, right? Quickest quarterback I've seen since Michael Vick. Great arm. Russell Wilson 2.0, right? And Tua doesn't have any of those things. So that's why I was always lower on Tua than Herbert or Burrow. And with Burrow, you're going to say, like, what about Burrow? Burrow, he has that it factor. Like, he's just like, he has a better arm than Tua. He's just as fast as Tua probably. And he just has that it. I don't know what it is, okay? But you could just see it when he plays. And he's calm. He's got the poise. That's what I want to say it is. The poise, okay? That's just my opinion on it. That's why he was pulled. No, it's not why he's pulled. But I'm just saying that is why he's not looking as good as Herbert. He's not looking as good as Burrow did. That's why. Because he doesn't pop off the screen. You don't watch him and you're like, holy crap, you see that arm? You don't watch Tua and you say, holy crap, you see that agility? You see that speed? You see that size? Oh my God, he's huge. You know? That was always my thing with Tua. What up, Luke G? Nice to see you, man. So, Tua. Time's not over. He's back next week. But just keep that in mind going forward. Keep that in mind. I was always on Herbert. And looking to be right, but I mean, it's only the first year. And it's just because physically they don't compare. One guy is a freaking stud, and the other guy is Tua. But should they stick with him? Yes. Reason being is he's young, he needs to grow, he needs time to develop, and him and Fitzpatrick, it's not too different. I think the reason Fitzpatrick went in the game is because he makes better, quicker decisions, and he protects the offensive line, which was getting absolutely lambasted, okay? So Fitzpatrick makes quicker decisions, gets rid of the ball quicker. Tua wasn't getting rid of the ball, and that's why he was getting sacked like 6 times. But Fitzpatrick, there's not too much difference between him and Tua. I never thought they should have benched Fitzpatrick. I still stand by that, but might as well go with Tua now. Like, might as well. And at least Tua doesn't turn the ball over. So that's good in comparison to Fitzpatrick. All right, let's talk a little bit about the Colts-Packers game. I did a live stream for this. Colts, I mean, we basically saw the difference between the two teams. In my opinion, Packers could have won this game for sure. Aaron Rodgers played well. But in my opinion, the difference between the two teams was toughness. I know that's kind of weird to say. It wasn't like quarterback play. It wasn't pass rush. It wasn't run game. It wasn't pass game. Like toughness. Packers are soft. That's their flaw, right? Last year, ran the fuck over by the 49ers, but for 200 yards. Okay? This year, destroyed by the Bucs. Absolutely wrecked. Okay? They lost to the Colts. Why? Scantling fumbles a ball. Some just really bad plays. There were some really bad turnovers. And they just don't want any of it versus a physical team. And the Colts are a physical team. That's kind of what I see from the Packers. That's why they're a good team, but not a great team. Colts, not a great team. Good team. Rivers played maybe his best game of the year. Defense is really solid. Hines is a beast. Michael Pittman could be something, but like, that was the difference in my opinion. Toughness. That's why the Colts won. That's why the Packers lost. Next. Derek Carr is ballin'. Derek Carr is ballin'. I'm not going to say I told you so, because I didn't. I didn't know Derek Carr was going to be ballin'. But I did say, there's probably a video out there, maybe Raiders video. I said Derek Carr's going to have his best season in a long time. Why? Because he's growing into this offense. John Gruden needs to get a lot of credit. John Gruden might be the best coach this year in terms of coach of the year. John Gruden does a lot for the Raiders, specifically their offense. He's always been an offensive guy. He always schemes up things very well in the run game, in the pass game, play action. It's all involved. They don't really have a weakness in their offense. They have a good offensive line. They don't have great receivers, but they're good enough. Darren Waller is something special, and Jacobs is a beast, okay? But John Gruden deserves a lot of credit, but Derek Carr deserves a lot of credit. Derek Carr played excellent on Sunday Night Football. Excellent. He didn't make any mistakes until the last play. He was throwing on the move, deep ball, big time throws. You know, like, that's the thing with Derek Carr. The reason for Derek Carr slipping these years was not because he didn't have the talent. I've always said Derek Carr in 2016 was one of my favorite quarterbacks in the league when he was MVP candidate, because he looked like Rodgers 2.0. He looked like he had the release, right? He had the mobility. He had the arm. He had the swag. But that faded away for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know how. Carr is physically talented. I mean, he can move. He's got a good arm. He's got a good release. All of it. He's making good decisions. Now, he's actually making big-time down-the-field throws. The thing with Carr the last few seasons has been he's checked down Charlie. Like, he just throws 5-yard little plays all the time. It's like, oh, where's my running back? Throw it to him. You know, it's never, I'm going to make a big throw here. On 3rd down and 10, I'm just going to throw the check down. I'm not going to try and make a tight window throw. Doesn't happen with Carr. Now it is. And that's where we're seeing Carr take that step back into, okay, I'm around top 10 quarterback conversation. And that's how he's played this year. And plus, he's making the big-time throws, and he's not turning the ball over. So, John Gruden is doing a great job. Their defense still is something. But, you know, they signed Tack McKinley, and they signed Vic Beasley. So, at least they're trying to improve that area. That was the thing with the Raiders. They kind of are who I thought they were going to be. Dennis Green, right? They are who we thought they were, right? But the rest of the NFL sucks. So therefore, the Raiders are who we thought they were when they hit the damn field. But the Raiders are better because offensive line's good. Derek Carr's playing better. And they've actually had a couple upsets this year, right? They beat the Saints. They beat the Chiefs. So those are 2 wins that I thought they wouldn't have. So the Raiders are looking like a playoff team. They're better than I thought via record, but it's weird. They're what I thought they would be, but they're better. I don't know how that makes sense, but I think Diego could tell you that I'm kind of on the money with that. You can let me know. Because I was high on them, but I wasn't. Weird to say. I don't know. You guys understand what I'm saying. Playoff picture. So quickly, I just want to take a look at the playoff picture. Where's my phone? Playoff picture. Let's take a look at this playoff picture. Ooh, man. Okay, so the AFC. Let's just start with the AFC. Pittsburgh's in first. Kansas City second. Vegas, they're a wild card team. They're playing Kansas City as of right now. Buffalo, Cleveland, 3-6. Colts, Titans, 4-5. And outside of that, we have the Ravens, Patriots are out, sadly. Dolphins. So I think that's it. So the two teams that are outside are Dolphins and Ravens. I expect the Dolphins to make it, but I don't know. They do have a down schedule stretch that's pretty tough. If there's 8 teams though, I mean that opens the door for Baltimore. I think the Colts are going to make it. It looks like the Browns. I think the Browns are terrible, but they continue to beat bad teams. Let's actually look at their schedule. I think the Browns suck. Like, maybe it's just Baker, but because Baker is terrible. But they play the Titans, they'll lose. They play the Ravens, they'll lose. I think they might lose to the Giants. Other than that, they're going to beat Jacksonville. They're going to beat the Jets. Oh, they also play the Steelers. So actually, they have 4 games that I would consider could be losses. So they're going to be like 10-6, 9-7. So they might make it. I think it really comes down to the Ravens. I guess they lost the Ravens both times already. The Ravens play the Steelers. They're going to lose. Play the Cowboys. Play the Browns. They play the Browns again. So yeah, that's the game right there. That's the game in the AFC. Browns, Ravens, week 14. And the Ravens have absolutely owned the Browns. So I expect the Ravens to win that game. Dolphins, they do have a tough schedule down the stretch. They play the Chiefs, Patriots, Raiders, and Bills in a row. So that's pretty tough. But I do think the Colts and Titans will make it. And the Raiders will make it, I think. Let me check the Raiders' schedule. So yeah. Oh, okay, that Dolphins game's big. They should beat the Falcons. That's not easy. They play the Jets, play the Chargers. That's a divisional game. Could lose that. Dolphins, Broncos. Yeah, I mean, it's not easy. It's not easy for them. But AFC is interesting. AFC has more depth, but AFC kind of seems like Chiefs are bust right now. Chiefs or Steelers are bust, sorry. NFC is kind of trash. I mean, we saw 2 of the better teams tonight, but they don't look, unbeatable or anything like that. Fucking Bucs, man. Saints, first round bye. Saints are the best team in the NFC. Rams are second. I think Bucs are third. I think Packers are fourth. I don't know. The NFC East is losing in the first round, so we have that. Cardinals, I don't know. Okay, here's the thing with the Seahawks. Seahawks are making it. Seahawks are going to win their division because the Seahawks, if you check their schedule, the Seahawks play the Eagles, the Giants, the Jets, the football team in a row. So that's 4 wins in a row. So they're going to be 11-3. So they're going to lose maybe 4 games this year. That's it. Maybe 5. Okay? The Rams are probably the best team in that division, but they play the Cards, the Patriots, who are going to play them really close and then lose, the Jets, the Seahawks, and the Cards. So they're going to lose 1 to the Cardinals. They're going to lose maybe to the Seahawks, maybe to the Patriots. They'll absolutely wreck the Jets. They play the 49ers. So, yeah. Can't wait for that Patriots game where Cam plays great and then everyone blames him for losing. That's going to be fun. So that's the NFC. I think the Giants are going to win the NFC East. I just think they're the best team. The Cowboys could. The Eagles, I guess. But, the Giants, I think they'll beat the Bengals for sure. They play the Seahawks. That won't be easy for Seattle, but I expect Seattle to win. They play the Cards. They play the Browns. They play the Ravens. They play the Cowboys. But really, they could win 2 more games and make the playoffs. And maybe they could upset the Browns or one of those other teams. So, Giants could make it. Eagles have, I think, a tough schedule. They play the Seahawks, Packers, Saints, Cardinals, Cowboys, Washington. So they'll probably win 2 more games. Same with the Giants. That tie might come in handy. I think the team that wins this division is going to be 6-10. That is sad. Sad. Wow. Anyways, that's my thoughts on that. Seahawks Steelers would be an awesome Super Bowl. Yeah. We saw that once. It was really bad. 2005. Okay. Mitch, you have such high hopes for the Pats. It's looking... No, they're terrible. What did you watch the earlier segment? It's looking like at myself believing the Dolphins are better. Bro, I just talked about how the Patriots have the worst defense in the NFL, the worst receiving core in the NFL, the worst tight ends in the NFL, and you're sitting here and saying I have hope? I mean, I did that last week because they beat the Ravens. I was excited, but we realized that the Ravens suck. So, I mean, everyone sucks. Been saying that. But, come on, man. Not going to happen. Oh, Kevil, you like my Undertaker shirt? You still here, Kevil? What's up, bro? And I think he said something about they remind me of the 07 Giants. They're not that good, okay? Giants did have Justin Tuck, okay? The Patriot killer. And they had Michael Strahan. He's pretty good. Here he's on TV now. I never see him, though. Only see him on every show. So, what's the last thing? Oh, this is the main event of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. You have made it this far. Guys, if you have made it this far, you're still awake for some stupid reason. Gronk spiked that like button, baby. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, Turtle watches a lot of football. Sometimes he watches it with foggy eyes, but he does watch it. Opium, what's up? The main event of the evening. Okay. Defense doesn't exist. There is no such thing as defense in the NFL in 2020. You see it, believe it. Defense, nothing. I don't know what it is. Guys, please tell me what defense is. I do not know what it is. Did you guys watch Sunday Night Football? The Las Vegas Raiders, the Kansas City Chiefs. Huh? Jonathan Abram biting on a scramble to leave Travis Kelce 20 yards of separation to score the game-winning touchdown? That's defense? I'm not sure. Tonight, we saw the Rams and the Bucs, two of the best defenses in the NFL. 27-24. That is defense in the NFL in 2020. 27-24. The refs suck. They do not make it fair for defenses. I mean, man. Defense does not exist. You cannot even touch receivers. You can't hit receivers. You can't even tackle, okay? You can't pass rush. You can't do shit on defense. Defense does not exist. This is probably statistically proven, but this must be the highest scoring year in the history of the NFL. I could be wrong. Maybe it's 2011, but I think this year is the absolute worst year for defense I have ever seen in the history of my lifetime. 24 years. Yes, I'm old. Defense does not exist. Only bad offense exists. Let me say that again. Defense does not exist. Only bad offense exists. What do I mean by this? Good defense nowadays is a bad play call. Good defense nowadays is a dropped pass. Good defense nowadays is the quarterback throwing it to the other team, mismanagement of the football in your hands. You kind of get what I'm saying. Bad offense is good defense. There is no such thing as actually stopping your opponent. We have seen every defense this year in one game get shredded. Okay? Bucs versus the Saints. Rams versus the Bills. Steelers versus a couple teams. Ravens, definitely. What else? Who else we got? Bears. Okay? Colts. Bears offense is worse than anything I've ever seen. That's a side point. Every defense. Saints got shredded. Patriots have been shredded all year. Seahawks been shredded 2 times over every game. I don't know. Defense doesn't exist. There isn't any defense that's going to roll out of bed and just shut you down and not let you score. Like, there is no defense in the league right now that is just going to hold you to 17, no matter how good you are. It's predicated on the offense. So when you are talking about games nowadays, when you are talking about who's going to win the Super Bowl, when you're talking about who's going to win this week, talk about the offense. Why are the Raiders a playoff team? They have the second or third best offense. Their defense is trash. It doesn't matter. The Chiefs are the best team in the NFL. Their defense is horrible. They're the best team. I don't care that the Steelers got a pretty good defense. What does that do for me? Their offense is okay. I get it, they're undefeated, but they beat the Jags. Who they beat? Who? The Ravens? The Ravens suck. Really? Okay? Ravens suck. We've talked about this. Who the Steelers beat? Jake Luton. Luton, Fluton. I don't know. Panthers defense. Trash. Lions defense. Well, let's not talk about that. Why does Matt Patricia still have a job? Patriots defense. 2 pressures versus Deshaun Watson. What else we got? Let's just go down the list. Bills defense is terrible. It was good last year. Hey, every defense was good last year. Patriots, Ravens. Cowboys defense, trash. Packers defense, trash. Vikings defense, good last year, trash. What? 49ers defense, good last year, trash. Titans defense, don't even need to say it. I mean, like, defense doesn't exist. It just doesn't. I could go over every defense. I could tell you all whole. Some teams, like Luke's saying, don't even have a defense. The Lions don't even have one. Okay? Seahawks, they don't even have a defense. There is only bad offense. That is the bottom line for week number 11, your week 11 NFL review. I guess I'll stick around because you guys have been here so late. So I'll stick around for like questions or comments, whatever you guys got for me. I'll stick around and we'll have some fun talking some football. I do want to bring up a couple things in terms of me. Okay. First thing is my Loyal to the Game project for school. Okay. You guys can follow us at LTTG on Instagram. Please do. It would really, really be awesome if you could follow us at LTTG on Instagram, Loyal to the Game. We are going to be releasing some episodes very shortly. There is a 4 to 5 episode arc that we're covering my Madden League and the stories, the players behind the league. And I think it's going to be really good. We're in the editing phase right now. We spoke to a lot of them. I'm sure you guys are going to love it. So just look out for that. It's going to be awesome for me, and I hope you guys enjoy it. But do follow us on Instagram. Secondly, the Patreon. So Patreon, you can become a patron. Patreon.com/BLV. Okay? You get exclusive content on there. Best bets. We have a new show coming every Sunday morning previewing the games. We have a lot of new content coming on there. I'm actually considering doing another show where I talk about anything but football. That's what I was thinking it was going to be called. But you could become a patron, support me, support the channel, support what I'm doing here. Allow me to become a full-time content creator starting at $3 a month. Okay? Become a patron. If you like what I'm doing here, that would be appreciated. So, patreon.com, links in the description. There is a show coming on Sunday mornings. That's for sure. This week, starting about 30 minutes before the games start. It's kind of like me talking about my bets, my fantasy teams, and answering any questions and talking about the games. So if you're interested in that, then do check that out. All right. I know you guys have some questions, so let me take a look. Ultra says Atlanta has no defense. HW says, what are the holes of the Colts? Steelers defense, Colts defense. First off, let's just take a look at something. This is also something I didn't bring up in the defense argument. Okay? Nobody's perfect, guys. We miss things. Steelers. Let's take a look at the offenses they've played. They've played the Giants, Broncos, Texans, Titans, Eagles, Browns, Titans. Did I say Titans already? Ravens, Cowboys, Bengals, Jags. They have played maybe one good offense, which is the Titans. The Texans weren't even good at that point, but they scored 21. The flaw of the Steelers defense is secondary. They can't really cover good receivers unless they get to the quarterback. They haven't played a single good quarterback at passing the ball other than Watson. Down the stretch, they play Bills. So that will be a big game for them. They don't play another good offense the rest of the year. Ravens aren't a good offense, guys. They aren't. And the Ravens ran for like 200 yards on the Steelers. They put up 24 points. So the Steelers, they got a good pass rush. They got a good blitzing scheme. But when their pressure doesn't get there, they're left out to dry. Their secondary isn't very good. That's their flaw. Colts defense, they legitimately have played nobody. They played Rodgers, and they got shredded. They let up 31 points. Other than that, they have played the Jags, the Vikings, the Jets, the Bears. What a joke. The Bengals, the Lions. Stafford put up 21 without Galladay. Ravens, Titans. They let up 24 to the Ravens, but that wasn't really their defense. Titans, they did well against the Titans. Okay, I'll give them credit. But they do play down the stretch, guys. The Texans twice, the Raiders. Texans are a much better offense right now with Watson cooking than they were early in the year. But Raiders are legitimately good. Steelers are okay offensively. So, yeah, it's mostly just the Colts haven't played anybody. But the Colts defense, I think their weakness is because they play so much zone. Good quarterbacks can see what they're doing and pick the spots in the zone and attack it. So that's what the Colts defense isn't good at. They have a good front. They're good versus the run. But they're not great versus the pass. Keep It Trill says, crazy to think if the Lions get second in the NFC North and tie the Cardinals, they would make it. It's not going to happen. I mean, they have too many injuries. Now Stafford's hurt. And their coaching is just incompetent, especially defensively. So, I don't think it's going to happen. As much as I want it to happen, I don't. Luke says, I have a question. What are your thoughts on the rookies who are struggling and the rookies who are playing well? I think you're specifically talking about Okudah. It's a good question. Are you talking about who? Like players? Or are you talking about just the general concept? So it's interesting because there are specific positions that are struggling this year. So when I look across the league, I think corner is generally, rookie corners are struggling. So Okudah, Henderson has had his moments. Arnett has had his moments. A lot of the guys, though, that were drafted at corner have struggled because corner is a position that takes time to learn, takes time to play in, specifically in certain schemes. So corner has struggled. Running back has struggled too. And the running back class is actually pretty good on paper. But Clyde has been fine. Jonathan Taylor's been a huge disappointment considering his situation. I mean, Keyshawn Vaughn doesn't even get on the field. I can't really say a rookie running back that's been good. Zach Moss has been fine, but like nothing. Swift has been good. I think he's been the best one. But he doesn't really get to play, which is a head scratcher. But I think running back has been tough. Corner has been tough. Offensive line has surprisingly been good, especially like Wirfs and Becton. A couple of those guys have been really, really good. Who else? Even pass rusher, like Chase Young's been good, but like nothing great. Like safety, like Winfield's been really good, and Blackman's been really good. Some safeties. So, I mean, not a lot of rookies. Like receivers, yeah. Quarterbacks, yeah. But other than that, I mean, a lot of the rookies are struggling. I think that has to do with the lack of an offseason. Because not everybody is Chase Claypool. Not everybody is 6'5" and runs a 4.4. Like, if you do that, you're probably going to be pretty good. You know, Justin Jefferson, receivers are doing really well. Receiver class was loaded, obviously. But other than the receivers, Herbert and Burrow, and a couple guys on defense like Winfield, nothing really. I mean, I think it mostly has to do with the time it takes, and the offseason was big for a lot of rookies. So yeah, that's just the general conversation. But when you talk about the guys that stood out to me, I mean, Herbert's been phenomenal. Burrow was really good. Wirfs was really good. It has been really good. Swift, I thought, is playing well. Jefferson, I love Jefferson. Claypool, CD, even a little bit Ruggs. He hasn't really had a lot of opportunity. Judy's been up and down. Who else? Yeah. But those are the guys that kind of stand out to me. Yeah. I don't really know the rest. Brown's been okay. Nothing special. Are the Raiders serious contenders for the AFC West next year? I don't want to say they are because so much changes in a year. But they have the coaching, and it's every year they're getting better. So that's good. Their management with Mayock and Gruden have done a really good job. But they need to get that defense better, and they've whiffed on some picks. Like Furl, I told you, the guy sucks. Day one. They picked him 4th overall. Didn't they have somebody else they could have picked at 4th overall? They should have just picked Josh Allen and called it a day. Not the quarterback, the edge rusher. They would have been fine. Yeah. Hey, my Lions take. I realize I'm too high on the Lions, but there's really no reason they're not a good team. Other than coaching. And that's the same what I'm talking about with the Bucs. The Bucs have the most talent in the NFL. It's not even a discussion. Okay? But the coaching has been terrible. The Lions, they have a good quarterback. They have a good running back. Galladay's been hurt. But they got Hawkinson, who's playing well this year. Defense has some talent. It could be better. But, like, mostly the reason they're not, like, at least 5-4, like around, like, a positive team is because of coaching. They lost the Bears game. They lost some games where it was like they shouldn't lose those games. Pandas says, what do you think about Justin Herbert's success, and what do you picture his future looking like? The guy's really good. He's got a great arm. He is tough as hell. He's got good mobility. He's actually a lot better intellectually than I thought he was, because that was the stereotype that he was stupid. It just shows you, like, him and Josh Allen, when you separate a quarterback in college from the situation, the coaching, the scheme, and the players around him, which Herbert had shit, he's good. Same as Josh Allen. They're similar players. They're really gifted. They do make some stupid mistakes, but you got to live with it because they can make really good plays. I mean, Herbert's been one of the best rookie quarterbacks we've seen in a long time. to be honest with you. Him and Burrow were playing great, and Herbert maybe even better than Burrow. What else we got? They should give defenses a 12th player, to be honest. But then blitzes would be out of control. How much do you think is a real number one receiver would help Lamar? Oh, I've said this many times, bro. Wide receiver, it's been proven this year because defense doesn't exist, as we talked about. Number one receivers are the most valuable position in the NFL outside of quarterback because it's a passing game. And if you have that number one receiver who the defense needs to defend and double and try to take out of the game, you have an advantage. Unless you have like Ramsey or Gilmore, you need to double them. So, yeah. Runner says, no idea. How could they always decide to play soft at the start of the game and decide not to play the game efficient on offense? Talking about the Bucs, I assume. I talked about the Saints. I picked the Saints to win the South, but the Bucs are definitely going to be a top team come playoff time. I think it's between the Saints, the Rams, and the Bucs, and whoever plays the best. And right now, I give the Saints and the Rams the edge because they got better coaching. And simple as that. Ryan said I lost 500 betting on the under tonight. I'm not sure if I'm an idiot or if I got fucked with the way the game played out. Let me know your thoughts. I thought it would be an under 2. But as closer we got to the game, I actually thought it would be an over. I thought initially it would be the under, but then when we got to the start of the game, I was thinking about betting overs on the team totals, but I don't think you were wrong on that. I was wrong on, what did I bet? So I actually won tonight. So I had 2 bets tonight. So I bet 2 props combo, Brown and Godwin on their overs, receptions, and they both went over, and that's what I won on. I lost on the Bucs winning the first half. They lost. But other than that, we made a little money tonight, so that's not bad. But yeah, that sucks. I won't say you're an idiot because I think most people thought that. HW says, who should the Bears draft? Let's just say definitely a quarterback. But in terms of who, I don't know yet. Because I need to watch the film. I'm not going to tell you just based on reputation. Who are the Buccaneers? What are the Buccaneers' deal? I don't know. Stop asking. I don't know. Am I a Steelers hater? Nah, not really. Who's my AFC dark horse? The Bills. Luke says, name your top 5 rookies on offense and defense. I'm probably going to forget somebody. But let's take a look. Man, I don't know. That's tough. Okay. Let's think about this. The offense. Whew. That is a good one. I would say definitely Burrow and Herbert. Let's actually look at the odds so I don't forget anybody. It's probably the best way of me going about it. I don't want to miss somebody. Can I find odds? Let me see. Let me pull this up. But yeah, Herbert. The combination of Burrow and Herbert. Those 2 guys, I would say Jefferson and I want to say Wirfs is in there, but I think Claypool's got to be in there. So yeah, probably those 5. Becton maybe number 6. CD was really good at the beginning with Dak, and then it kind of fell off because Dak's not there. Let's go defensive rookies. I think Winfield is first. I like Blackman in Indianapolis. I guess. Let me check the odds. So, Chase Young is probably in there. Patrick Queen. Oh, Jeremy Chin. Man, Jalen Johnson too. So yeah, my top 5 would be for defense: Winfield, Chin, Blackman, Johnson, Young, maybe Queen. Those 6. Yeah. Mark says, Mitch, do you think a reason a defense doesn't exist is because of all the injuries and COVID stuff? Oh yeah, definitely. Part of the reason for sure. I think defense is definitely seeing a regression, but I think that's a huge reason why, yeah. Opium says, Mitch, who do you got for Depoy, Ramsey or Donald? Maybe Ramsey. Goober says, I think the Rams are the dark horse no one been talking about till the Bucs. Well, I was talking about them. Ramification says, should the NFL go to best records as far as playoffs? I mean, they should, but they won't. Divisions are too good for the NFL. Goober says, Mitch, how about that whisper of the Lions prediction? Stop bugging me about the Lions. Luke G says, facts. You don't have to tell me that I was not happy when we took Okuda. I actually had Henderson higher than Okuda, but who would you have liked to have picked now? Dylan says, Mitch, do you think Cam is the answer? Yes. For the next 2 years. Panda, I think, okay, I've said this like a lot. New England is legitimately 3 players away from being in the playoffs. A receiver, a pass rusher, and a tight end. That's it. They have the most salary cap in the league. They have good coaching. I still believe in Belichick. I think McDaniels has been good this year. Their offensive line is really good. And their secondary is still really good. Their pass rush and front 7 is awful. Awful. They need 3 players. 3. And then a bunch of rotation guys. That's it. Just bring back Cam. They'll go to the playoffs. They'll be at least 10-6. They'll make it. I really am confident in saying that. Like I said that the other week. Patriots, Niners, and maybe the Chargers are 3 teams that I clearly can see making the playoffs next year, depending on their offseason. But the Patriots have the most cap space in the league next year. So they have a lot that they can work with. Plus, they're going to have the highest pick they've had since, I don't even know. I mean, 2008 when they picked Gerard Mayo, or 2010 when they got that pick from Richard Seymour trade and they got Nate Solder. So, and those were both good picks. So, I mean, they're going to get somebody good, whether that's a receiver, pass rusher, linebacker. That's what they need. And obviously, you're going to get Hightower back next year. And he's missed. Man, talk about an underrated player. Dante Hightower. Like, wow. Yeah. Slept on Trevon Diggs. What else we got? Jalen Johnson, the Bears corner, has been playing amazing. Yeah, I agree, yes. Ray says, question, biggest free agent acquisitions this year. I don't really know who the free agents are, to be honest. But I'm going to say if Matt Ryan or Matthew Stafford are on the block, both of them will be coveted, and I think both of them will go somewhere. Keep Patrol says, honestly, with the Bears offense being this bad and Kirk being the Vikings quarterback, Lions have 0.99% chance of overcoming terrible coaching and making the playoffs. Okay, I'll give them that. What's up, Ultra? You still awake? Ray says, Matt Patricia is dumpster juice. 100% facts. I'm a Lions YouTuber. The only thing is coaching. I can write it on a book on it. Ultra, I miss Kobe. I miss Kobe too. Even though I didn't know him. I never thought that. Yo, Thielen can catch everything. He literally caught COVID. Oh, I don't even want to know, Opium. Honestly, the Bucs should fire Arians and just hire McDaniels. What's up, Ryan? Thanks for asking. Omar says, do you think Mahomes could end up having a GOAT-worthy career? Yeah, but it's going to take a lot. Okay, this is the way I'll put it. Mahomes can be the GOAT, but not in his career. Does that make sense? I think Mahomes could be worthy of being the GOAT, but not because of his accomplishments. Because I literally think it's impossible to get more accomplishments than Tom Brady. I hope that makes sense. Should Detroit move on from Stafford? It's tough because I don't think they should, but they kind of have to. It's almost like at the point where, I'm going to be honest, I would rather see Matthew Stafford leave. I want Matthew Stafford to succeed, and I don't think it's going to be with the Lions, especially if he gets a chance to join like the 49ers or somebody like that, the Eagles, somebody. Yeah. So should Detroit move on from Stafford? I mean, it's going to be hard to find a quarterback better than him. There's only like 10 of them, but they might have to because new coach, new GM, new regime. You might have to, even though, like, again, if Detroit gets a pretty good coach, couple players, they're a playoff team with Matthew Stafford. So it kind of depends on what the new GM and new coach think. Because I think Stafford can still play. So I don't, that's a tough question to answer. Okay, let me put it this way. If I was GM, I would keep him. Would I like Trubisky? No. Mr. Peters says, are the Browns for real this year? No. They might be a playoff team, but nothing more than that. Ray says, I like Jacoby Myers. Could be a number 2. Yeah, I agree. Jacoby Myers would be a great number 3, but I think he's like a solid number 2 in the Patriots system. He's a fine slot receiver, underneath guy. He's a good route runner. He's a tough player. I'll take him as a number 2 receiver. But they need a number 1 receiver. It's what they need. Please be Odell. Please be Odell. Please be Odell. Chad is dead. Why would you be pissed, Luke? What is the 2020 NFL draft? The first draft since Eli's draft, where the top 3 quarterbacks have all turned out to basically be legit franchise guys? Possibly. Possibly. All right. You really think Belichick would take Marvin Jones for Gilmore? If everyone stays relatively healthy next year, are they Super Bowl favorites in the NFC? The 49ers? Is that who you're talking about? I don't know. They don't have a quarterback. I don't think Jimmy's the guy. So, no. They get a quarterback, maybe. We could talk. Need a quarterback. Rams will be good. Seahawks are always good. Cardinals got freaking Kyler. Cowboys will be good with Dak. What else we got? Of course, Rodgers is there, and then you got the Bucs probably are going to be really good, and the Saints probably. I don't know. Maybe the Panthers. So, yeah, I don't know. Who's going to have the better career? I'm going to go Herbert. I'm just saying that, Luke, because I know how the Bucs would be with McDaniels because Brady's the quarterback. That offense would be ridiculous. I'm just saying. Maybe it's not the best long-term solution, but Arians is a short-term coach anyways. He's retiring next year. So it won't happen. Not saying it will, but maybe it's not an Arians thing. Maybe it's a Leftwich thing. But their offense isn't good enough. The scheme is lazy. It's prehistoric. Turtle says, Mitch, why do you hate Michael Thomas? I don't. I just don't think he's Terrell Owens, Randy Moss, or Antonio Brown. Like somebody said that in the chat, and I just had to go off. Panda says, who are your top 10 receivers off the top of your head? Okay. Number 1, Julio. That's not changing. Number 2, Hopkins. Number 3, Jacoby Myers. No, just kidding. Number 3, ooh, fuck. That's hard. I want to say Tyreek. Number 4, Adams. Number 5, probably going to miss someone. Thomas. Number 6, Metcalf. No, Metcalf over Thomas. Number 7, who do we got? Who else we got? Let's just check the teams. I won't cheat. Diggs is in there for sure. No one on the Steelers. Can't put Odell in there. Not the Ravens. Not the Bengals. Not the Colts. Not maybe Brown. Not the Jags. Not the Texans. Not the Raiders. Not the Keenan Allen. I'd put Keenan Allen in there. NFC. Oof. Man, this is hard. McLaurin. And McLaurin and Cooper. Cooper or Evans for 10. Yeah, Cooper or Evans for 10. Probably Evans. Cooper's probably 11. All-time top 5 quarterbacks. Are you kidding me? This late? Galladay's not there. He hasn't played this year. Probably like top 15 though. Not Cooper Kupp. Don't bring me that. Yeah, Evans and Cooper are 10 and 11, I think. Adam Thielen's probably like 13. No, Evans above Allen, probably. Evans hasn't had his best year this year. Probably Evans, though. Not Godwin. Godwin's probably like top 15. So top 5 quarterback all time. There's like 20 top 10 receivers. Brady. Montana, Manning, Unitas. My number 5, if you're talking all time, probably Otto Graham. But, I mean, you could throw a number of guys at number 5. You could throw Rodgers. You could throw Elway. You could throw Marino. I don't think you can put Breeze there. I wouldn't put Favre there. So those would be like the guys that I would put there. I haven't really ever made a definitive list. Ridley, nah, he's a number 2 receiver. I can't put him in the top 10. He's really good though. Washington have a future. Maybe they need a quarterback. Yeah, keep it Trill. Just leave, please. No, just far more help. Manning had Harrison, Reggie Wayne, Edgerrin James, Dallas Clark, Dwight Freeney, Robert Mathis, Tony Dungy, Von Miller, Demaryius Thomas. Do I have to go on? Marshall Faulk. Vic. That's interesting. Kelly. Lori has Breeze. All right. Are we done? Vic and Madden is the GOAT. All right. I think I'm done, guys. Hope you enjoyed this show. It was a long one. It was a good one. I promised a great show. I hope it delivered. Gronk, spike that like button if you haven't already. Peace.